Good morning. It's wonderful to be here, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm excited because this month the theme is living playfully, and that's something I love to do. I learned it from my mother. She knew so many songs that had nonsense lyrics. I grew up with boop boop diddum daddum waddum choo and R-A-G-G-M-O-P-P rag mop. She also could create things to play with out of the most mundane items. One of my favorites was she could take the wrapper from a straw and turn it into a caterpillar that would actually creep along. But the real way that her playfulness served our family was in the more challenging times. I remember one camping trip. We were up in the mountains, and it was raining, and we kids were in the tent, huddled up and kind of grumpy and bored. Mom was standing out in the rain, cooking dinner over a camp stove, and the water off the brim of her hat was pouring into the fry pan as she was cooking. We looked at her, and she looked back at us, and she started to laugh. I mean belly laugh. And we caught the laughter, and we shared it. We started laughing hysterically because we got it. We were fine. This was not the weekend we expected, but nobody was hurt. We were just a little uncomfortable. And that day, we came closer together as a family than we had been in a long time because of that laughter that we shared together. I carried that playfulness into my marriage. And I remember one time my husband and I were having a major disagreement. We each had our positions, and we were really firm on our positions. We had reached an impasse to the point where we just sat there and glared at each other until we started giggling because we couldn't sustain that level of intensity. And I think in that moment we both realized that we had lost track of what the disagreement was about, and we were just in it to win. So once we let go of that need to win, we were able to resolve our difference. So how do we bring playfulness to bear in a challenging situation like that? What I'm learning, what I have learned, is we do it by living playfully all the time. We take every opportunity to be playful. And so I'm going to offer you my 3 rules that I follow. Number 1, live in the moment. And, I lost it here last time. Live in the moment and don't be afraid to follow your first impulse. If you're feeling called to be playful, do it. If I'm in the supermarket and I hear music over the sound system that kind of makes me feel like dancing, I will dance along behind my shopping cart. Rule number 2, don't live by the rules you were taught as a child about what it means to behave appropriately. To heck with appropriate behavior. Be messy once in a while. Be loud once in a while. If I'm in a restaurant and the service is really slow and I'm getting bored, I may just take the top off the salt shaker, dump some salt on the table, and start drawing pictures. 3rd rule, don't be afraid to look foolish or silly in public. It was a long time ago when I weighed a little less. I went to work on Halloween Day in my costume, because we could, where I worked. But I got to the office and I realized that I had scheduled a business meeting for that afternoon. Oops. I thought about going home and changing clothes, but then I thought, nah, I wouldn't want to do business with somebody who doesn't have a sense of humor. So imagine the person's surprise when he came out to greet me and was met with Elvira, Mistress of Darkness. But the meeting, once he got over the shock, the meeting went very well and it was very productive. So these are my 3 rules. First, be spontaneous and follow your impulses to be playful. Second, let yourself be messy or loud or break some of those rules we learned as children. And third, don't be afraid to look foolish or silly in public. If you follow these rules, you'll find that life is more joyful and more free than you can imagine. And you will have a new set of tools in your toolbox the next time you encounter a challenging time. Thank you.